All right, so today we are going to be looking at one of my personal favorite continuous motion offensive basketball systems, and that is the flex motion offense. Flex motion offense is personally, like I said, my favorite basketball system because it involves unique cuts and unique screens, right, in addition to our continuous movement. Right, when you're running your standard 5-out motion offense, it can get a little bit repetitive. Not that it can here with the flex as well, but you want to have different options. And the flex continuous motion offense does provide a little bit of a different option than just your standard, cut to the basket off of a 5-out motion offense. So the flex motion offense does start in a 4-out, 1-in type of setting, right? So we're going to see that when we demonstrate it in a minute, but it does involve a unique screen and cut, which does create a scoring opportunity for somebody around the basket. So it's a continuous movement, it's a continuous motion offense, and it has a repetitive pattern of actions that can be continuously run until a good shot is available. So, today we're going to look at how to run a flex motion offense and a few different options that you can, use when you're running that flex motion offense. All right, so let's look at my personal favorite way to run a flex motion offense. Now, if you're not familiar with the flex motion offense, essentially what you're going to have is a screen where this person right here or this person is going to receive the basketball, around the middle of the floor, around the rim. Okay, so let's take a look at how this will work as a motion offense. How can we get continuous movement here from the flex? So it's going to start with number 3 setting a screen for number 4. Okay, so number 4 is coming off that screen, and they're going to look for the basketball about right here around the middle of the floor. That's your flex action, right? There's kind of 2 ways you can go about it. You can make this person a big who can finish around the rim, or you can make it, a smaller person who can come off of that screen quicker, maybe a small forward type of player. Right, but either way, we're going to try to get the ball inbounds here, or not inbounds, but into our number 4, right? After number 4 comes off of that screen, and then we're going to have number 4 around the rim looking for a layup, right? So that's our basic kind of first option here as a flex. But then how does this become continuous? So if number 4 can't find the basketball, number 4 is going to continue moving over here. Now, number 2 is going to come and set a down screen for that initial screener. Okay, then number 3 is coming off of the screen, and now number 1 is going to hit number 3 with a pass when they come off the screen. And now we are completely reset into that same action, that same flex action, but now on the opposite side of the floor. So as you can see, we're set up almost in the exact same way that we were set up when we started, except now the ball is over here, right? And we have 2 players on this side of the floor and 1 player on this side of the floor. So that's how we can make it continuous. Now number 4 comes and sets that screen for number 5. Number 5 comes off the screen. We can look to get them a pass, but if they don't get the pass, that's okay. They're going to continue moving. Number 1 comes down here and sets a screen for number 4. Number 4 comes off the screen, right? And now we are completely reset into our flex motion offense. We swing the basketball. Number 5 comes over to set a screen for number 2, right? Number 2 comes off that screen. Maybe we can feed it into number 2, but if we can't, we'll just continue moving. Number 3 comes down to set a screen for number 5. Number 5 comes off that down screen, right? We reset the basketball. It's a continuous movement, but it has that flex cut. All right, folks, I need to quickly stop right there before we move into our next topic to mention that right now, 97.1% of our daily viewers are not subscribed to our channel. So that means if you are one of these people, if you are one of these 97.1% who are not currently subscribed but are watching this video, it would be greatly appreciated if you could take the time real quick to hit that subscribe button. It will help us continue to make content like this, continue to make basketball plays for other coaches, basketball drills for other players, and basketball, everything that both players and coaches and organizations alike can use. So again, if you could really quickly take the time to hit that subscribe button, it'll just take 2 seconds. It would be greatly appreciated. But moving on to our next topic. Now, some people like to set up the flex offense a little bit closer to the rim. And what I mean by that is when I set my flex offense, I like to bring this player, number 5, over to number 3, right, to set the screen over here a little bit wide. Again, you can go over the screen or under the screen. It depends on your preference there. But some people like to set the screen a little bit closer to the rim. So I'll show you an example. Now, again, this isn't my personal preference. I like to keep the traffic, as much traffic as we can away from the basket. But again, this is how some people will set up a flex offense. They will wait, instead of number 5 leaving this area, they'll wait for number 5 to move around here. Again, you can go over the screen or under the screen, and that's when number 5 sets that screen, right? Let's say this time they go under the screen, right? And then we look to get the ball into number 3, but then number 2 comes down to about right here, sets that screen for number 5, right? Number 5 comes up top, and then number 2 gets a little bit wider, right? So you're kind of adding in a step there. But again, you're still looking to get number 3 the basketball. But if number 3 doesn't get it, they're going to continue moving as mentioned. But now with this type of flex, right, we're still going to hit number 5 with a pass after that screen. But with this type of pass, we're waiting. So number 3 is standing in this spot there waiting, right? They're waiting for number 4 to make their move, right? And then number 3 sets that screen to look for the basketball. Then number 1 is setting that down screen right here for number 3, right? And that's how we're getting our movement. Now, again, this isn't my personal favorite way to run the flex offense. I like to keep things a little bit wider, as we discussed. That's why I like having, say in this example, number 4 leaving to go set that flex screen over here for number 2, right? So you can go over or under the screen, doesn't really matter. But again, I like to keep things a little bit wider, and that's why I prefer to run the flex the way I demonstrated at first. But you have some coaches who prefer to run it this way, keeping things a little bit tighter to the basket. Again, it depends on your preference as a coach. All right, that is everything that I had for the flex continuous motion offense. Like I said, this is my personal favorite continuous motion offensive basketball system. It is good to teach athletes the 5 out, especially if we're dealing with younger athletes and, they need to learn the fundamentals of playing on offense. But the 5 out motion offense can get a little repetitive. So it's important to have multiple different continuous motion offensive basketball systems added to your playbook, so you can switch it up a little bit. And the flex motion offense does kind of change things up a little bit and, adds, a different variety to your offense, right? You're getting that horizontal cut, right? You're getting that cut from side to side. You're getting some different movements, a 4 out, 1 in. It does change things up a little bit from your 5 out, but it's also continuous in the sense that, there's constant moving, throughout the entire offensive basketball system. So this is an offensive system that I would definitely recommend adding to your playbook. Like I said, it's one of my personal favorites, and there's lots of other things that we can do, with the flex motion offense.